So we are live. Really welcome everyone to this AI Meetup, our monthly events organized by Artificial Intelligence Association. And today we will have one of the talks about what's happening in the recent month. And we will try to organize such kind of rotated events every quarter. So last month, we had various presentations about various topics from the companies and the research, what's happening. We will do that in a couple of months. And next month, we will have more or less tutorial-like presentation about how to get practical knowledge. So we will have some rotation in our meetups and events. And after everything, the main benefit obviously is just to have the networking after the event, enjoy all the talks and discussions after everything. So I'm, by the way, Dovydas Ceilutka, board member of Artificial Intelligence Association. And just a reminder that we updated a few months ago our association website, where we have various information what's happening. So all the next events, what's happening. So we will have really nice, even large event of AI awards in the December. Obviously, we will have next AI meetup in November, and Dovydas will present that we will have even more interesting initiatives in upcoming month. So nevertheless, if you are interested in what's happening, there's much more information like our OKRs, and we could look what's happening, maybe some new initiatives starts to coming up. And for example, we will have a short discussion about how to integrate and what is the necessity of new resources for the Lithuanian language. And we will participate in such discussions as an association. And from that, if anyone has the ideas of the necessities for the resources or something like that, you could just look and found that there's some new initiatives, and you could contact, for example, in this case, Dovydas about the discussion of those things. But nevertheless, among other initiatives, just a reminder, one of the colleagues of our is organizing the team for the Lithuanian language NLP model operations as a part of the Bloom project, which will be organized by EU. And if you are interested, you could find all the information in our website. So without any further introduction, I would like to invite Dovydas to present and talk about what's happened in recent month in AI, for the various research or development news, and after that we will have really interesting activities. So Dovydas, on.
Thank you very much. That was a great intro, and one more time, just to show you, if any of you would like, if you are interested in any case doing anything with like Lithuanian language, be sure to we have like 2 amazing initiatives going on with that right now. So I'm participating in this forum, 𝗔𝗴𝗲𝗍𝗱, and 𝗔𝗴𝗲𝗍𝗱 invited us to explain what's needed for Lithuania to have like a proper data sets, proper applications of Lithuanian language, how can we be like made, and they need advice from the community, from us, to explain how to make it happen. So if you are interested, very welcome to join Dovydas on his project working on creating the Lithuanian language data set. So 2 initiatives, both with huge potential for Lithuanian language. So that's just a short reminder, and as always, luck would have it, something's not right. I hope it will fix itself in the reload. Yeah, turns out it worked now. So as you might have noticed, and as Linus explained, we have this new format. This new format about not having hardcore technical presentations all the time, but having a more lightweight, more fun events as well. I myself really love to participate in these kinds of meetups where the main goal is not, to learn a new framework or learn about hey, these 10 academic papers, summarized in 20 or 30 minutes, because your brain is drained afterwards. But here it's meant to be very fun, very approachable, and very, just to start the discussion. So the main part today is going to be you talking with each other, but not to leave you empty-handed, not for you to start, hey, so what did you eat for breakfast? So the idea here is to give you some prompt. That's a bit of an inside joke with the presentation, but bear with me. So give you a prompt how to approach these conversations, how to get the most value, and how to have fun. So that's what we are going for, to have fun. Let's start with the first new development in the AI. It's 𝗔𝗴𝗲. How many of you have heard about this model? It really it's Google not to advertise it properly. So by the way, 𝗔𝗴𝗲 is super interesting model. As you see, it was released in August 1st, so not that long ago, just a bit more than 2 months ago. And the idea is that it can solve mathematical, but also scientific problems, just given the natural text, and not only provide you with an answer, but provide with the reasoning, how it arrived at the answer, why the answer is as it is. They have created multiple models. There are I think 3 different sizes of this model. And these models are increasingly big and increasingly good in the same regard, the bigger the better. That's how it works with language models. And you might be thinking, so wait a minute, wasn't GPT-3 good at math? Actually, no, it was very terrible. And all other language models are pretty terrible, except for 𝗔𝗴𝗲, which is not high school student level, but it can correctly work out most of the problems that are presented to the high school students. So that's very, very impressive. Let me show you how that works in practice. So first of all, remember I said that other language models are not that great. So this is 𝗔𝗴𝗲. These are 4 different data sets. I'll show you examples of those, but for now it's just know that these are data sets. That was state of the art. So come on, it was 7% state of the art. Now it can solve 50% of these problems correctly. What's an example? What an example looks like, and you might have already noticed that's an example. I'm not sure if people on the back can see it. I really hope that you can. If you cannot, it's maybe a good idea to move a bit closer. Because I'm very sorry, I have quite a lot of those heavy slide screenshots. So this is the problem. This is exactly what the model gets. This is the condition. What it's again. This is the problem definition. This is the model output. So all of the text it's generated by the model. Not only the text, but also the LaTeX formulas. And so all of the math, it's not hard coded or anything like that. It's generated in the correct place by the model itself. So that's for me at least very, very impressive. And great school, great development if you're at school or you do math problems that are for high school students. You're in luck. No need to worry. So maybe this way will solve most of our Lithuanian students not being able to graduate math exams. Maybe that's the answer now. This is different sizes of 𝗔𝗴𝗲. How does it do on different data sets? But I guess the most interesting part for me is the actual example. So that's the 𝗔𝗴𝗲 page. It's embedded here. It's fully interactive. So for example, if I want an algebra problem, I can, I cannot write it down myself, but I can see some samples. So for example, this question is like, prove that this is that. And the model generates its own like result. And if it's in this like neutral color, it's correct. Let me find some incorrect ones. This one is in red, so that means the model, oh, you don't see it in red, but you see it in this color. So this color, like pinkish, which is totally red on my laptop, this means it's incorrect. The answer is incorrect. So you can like sample from different data sets, from algebra to physics to pre-calculus to even machine learning, and it can answer these types of questions. To be honest, I checked machine learning answers, and they are mostly incorrect and mostly very trivial, like choose A, B, or C. So it cannot yet do machine learning. We are good for 2, maybe 3 more years. So in luck here. So yeah, as I mentioned, lots of incorrect, lots of incorrect answers still. But still, very, very impressive model. I'm super happy that we have this development this year, and again, quite recently. Let's see if we have something interesting. So what's under this mysterious number 2? So under mysterious number 2 is a development from Meta AI. It's called No Language Left Behind. And I don't even want to call it a model. It's a system. It's like a huge undertaking. I read like parts of the paper. It's a huge paper, I think like 120 pages, crazy. It's like a model and then multiple data sets and then huge effort to like create these data sets. And what it all means, it's a language, it's a translation model. It can translate between these 200 languages, between any of them. So for 40,000 different ways to translate. What it means, I mean, you might have said like, hey, who cares? Like I read things in English, and if like occasionally they're not in English, I'll just use Google Translate. So yes, in that case, you don't care about it, but in like a lot of people do not speak like these maybe 3-4 major languages. And the translation, as we might know, Lithuanians might know, translation is not great. I mean, Google Translate is like okay-ish now for Lithuanian language, but imagine like an even smaller and even rarer language. So you're really underserved if you are only speaking in that language. And it's, I think, great what Meta AI did in this case. They developed like this data set, they open sourced it, they developed this model, they open sourced it. They even cared about, the model not having a lot of, carbon pollution. So we even, bought this, like, obviously they trained on like thousands of GPUs. They generated a lot of, CO2, but they bought it out and they kind of like neutralized. It might feel like a gimmick, but, honestly, I would love more companies, having the section like, hey, whatever CO2 we emitted in training, we are like negating it by buying, these credits, and maybe in the future, they're using like sustainable energy for training. So that would be great. And let me show you some facts about this model. So as I mentioned, it's like pretty complex. And the big part was just generating the translation pairs. They were done, as you see, like this flores in the right. Yeah, you can see my cursor. So as you can see, it was done like in a multi-step process with like going back and forth and like editing until you get like a good data set. It was done partially automatic, partially with human translators, even talking with experts in that language. So all of that was, again, huge undertaking, and it's great that Meta AI done it, and they done it. They open sourced everything, so that's again very great thing. That's a bird's eye view how the model works. To be honest, I kind of cannot really explain it like super well because the paper was quite complex, and like these are data sets, like these starting data sets. Then we kind of use like this intermediate way, how to like intermediate representations. Finally, they kind of train the model on that. And then we have like, they don't train a single model, they train like a lot of models. And this mixture of experts, that's what we in the end call the model. And this is the output. It's like these data sets, like toxicity and flores data sets, and the model itself, obviously. And also, like, they tested on human evaluators. So not only for the check for toxicity, tested on this like huge data set, we also give humans to test it. Finally, this one is, I found this the last column very interesting. So you can see how it performs compared to Google Translate. And by the way, you might be thinking, Google Translate sucks. Good luck beating Google Translate. It's really robust, like production system with a lot of optimizations. So it's pretty great that they have, on some cases, beat it, but not also they are better at than Google Translate. They have like many more language pairs than Google Translate. So that's the important part. They have like similar or better performance in, like, I mean, on here, Latin to something, it's worse, but like something to English, it's better. So if you want to translate to English something, they are better than Google Translate, and here we are worse. On average, they are better, and finally, they have like so many more language pairs. So that's the great thing. Let's talk about number 3. So number 3 is Whisper AI. Who knows what Whisper AI is? Better. So Whisper AI is a speech recognition model. It's an unsupervised system, so it doesn't have labels. It was translated on this like enormous hours of multilingual and multitask supervision, so like self-supervised learning task. And the model is competitive with prior state-of-the-art, with supervised, with like labeled data sets. So that's the amazing thing, especially for languages such as Lithuanian, again, which don't have great Lithuanian data sets. And here I have like, again, the model is very simple, as you can see in this like ginormous slide. So the whole process was pretty difficult. But what's important, what's interesting here is the Lithuanian language performance. And here you see like Whisper, various versions of Whisper model. Here you see like Lithuanian language and how it compares with other languages. I've just selected, like this, I think, pretty representative Common Voice 9 dataset. I think it's from Mozilla. And like they just open source, not open source, but like we collected these open datasets. And as you can see, Lithuanian language is not great. Like, I wish we beat Latvian, like at least at any size, but like, no, Latvian is way better at every size. And even like most of the languages, like except for quite rare ones such as like Mongolian and Malaysian, Lithuanian is pretty bad. So that's one great reason why we should work on this like initiatives, what I mentioned in the beginning, to make Lithuanian language speech recognition better, because it's not great now. We have like really abysmal data sets, and these abysmal data sets like pretty much what's preventing this from being much better number. So what's the last thing that I want to tell you about Whisper? It's called robust for a reason. So robustness, what robustness means. So they are comparing with this Libri speech models. And here, this chart says like how the model performs on a clean data set versus on a like dirty data set. Dirty means with noise, with like some extra like real life stuff. So clean data sets are like people just speaking in the microphone in a soundproof room. And like dirty data sets means you speaking on the phone or you speaking at home. So as you can see, like this Libri data set, it's like really great on like this, the more to the left it is, the better the model is. Left equals better, but top to bottom, like the up means it's worse at being at this dirty data set. So even though like it's mostly like this library is mostly better or around the same as 𝗔𝗴𝗲, 𝗔𝗴𝗲 is hands down better on like this dirtier data set, on like real life voices or real life sound recordings. So that's really amazing, and that just shows that if you build huge models, they're just quite robust. That's the takeaway here. Let's move on to actually to the demo. I wanted to show you how 𝗔𝗴𝗲 actually works. Thanks to our friends at the Hugging Face, you can do that. So I'll try to say something. By the way, is there anyone who doesn't speak Lithuanian? Okay, quite a few people. So sorry about that. I'll try both. I'll try Lithuanian first, and then if Hugging Face allows me, because I've been playing around with it, I think they throttle me now. So I'll try Lithuanian, and we'll all see how it goes. And then if you have time, I'll do it in English. Sveiki, kaip praėjo jūsų prezentacija? And let's transcribe. So probably we are quite in a yeah, it's not great. It's mostly error solved, except for prezentacija. It's all bad. So even as I mentioned, it's probably like the smallest 𝗔𝗴𝗲 model here. I'm not sure, by the way, I haven't checked, but all in all, it's like Lithuanian results are not great. Let's try some English ones. So how was your presentation? At least they detected that the language is Lithuanian. At least it seems so. Yeah, English is perfect as expected. So if you want to play around, you can do it. By the way, if you didn't know about Hugging Face, we have like these amazing spaces, what we call, pretty much like you don't even have to download the open source model on your machine. You can just go to Hugging Face and like click a few buttons, and you have an interface to various models. Let's move on. And I lost my presentation, so it's here. So number 4, by the way, like, is anyone like worried? Why would you be worried? Like, I haven't told you anything about like this very big thing that's like on everybody's mind, and I have already wasted like first 3 slots, right? Language models and math, who cares about it? No one cares about these things anymore. What everybody cares about is Stable Diffusion, or I guess text to images. So that's the big thing right now. And I could have chosen like any of those, like Midjourney, but I have chosen Stable Diffusion. It was released again not that long ago. It was only like announced on August 10th, and it feels like a live thing. It feels like, oh, everybody's like so bored of like generating these images now. But why have I chosen Stable Diffusion? Why not any other text to image models? First of all, or I guess like first and foremost and finally, it's the one that's open. So that's great about Stable Diffusion, because you can download it to your own laptop, or I guess not maybe laptop, but to your own computer. And with 10 gigs of video RAM, you can generate 512 on 512 images in like a few seconds. So that's like a great thing. You don't need like this proper infrastructure or thousands of GPUs. You can have like, again, like a single GPU on your own computer, like not even the state-of-the-art one. You can have like an older system, and it's still you're still being able to pump out a lot of these generated images. That's going to be important, by the way. Like, remember this. It's going to connect with something later. So Stable Diffusion, not a lot of information for me to show. So I'll do another demo. And can you give me a prompt? Audience, give me a prompt. Something I didn't hear, riding a bicycle? Pig riding a bicycle is you command.
What about for the next one, Lithuanian AI Association?
Pig riding a bicycle towards Lithuanian AI Association.
No, for the next one.
You're already pitching for the next lot, okay. Do you want to add something like on the moon or in the bottom of the ocean or anything other make it crazier?
In the style of cloud moving.
In the Oh, what happened? Now that doesn't happen typically. We have like again, they throttle me now. But typically you don't even have to wait a long time. I mean, if you do a lot of these images, it takes much longer. But right now we can generate. Oh, look, this one's cool. I like this one. Yeah, it's pretty good. And the style, I think they got the style quite right. I'm not sure. Like, do you agree that the person who says in Monet style? Pretty close. That's good. So Stable Diffusion, again, everything's free. Just go to this website. You don't even need to download it. I mean, if you don't have a machine, just go here, generate some images. You can even have options here if you want to like change the parameters, number of images, steps that it takes, etc. So let's move to the final one, right? Who could it be, right? I already talked about 4 once. Do you have an inkling? Who want to guess what's the number 5 gonna be? What's your best guess? What have we missed? I'm searching for ideas for the next time, by the way.
Text to video.
Text to video. All right. Okay, we have a winner. Like it's very easy. So the 5 one is make a video, again by Meta AI. And this is super recent. Like it's not even a month old now, like less than 3 weeks, I think, old. So same idea, you generate the prompt. If you have more GPUs, and by the way, the model itself, like I also looked at the paper, like, wow, crazily difficult to make it. I mean, you still cannot do like, even with Meta's GPU prowess, you still cannot do like a straightforward, let's just generate videos from the ground up. We still do some optimizations. We still like the pre-training is done on images, then later it's fine-tuned on videos. So it's still there's still optimization and engineering challenges involved. But like we don't care that much about all of that because we care about the results. Unfortunately, we cannot do like a proper demo, but we can look at various what we put in the paper pretty much. So how we show what's the real image and what was generated, or what was I mean the series of images. These are like, again, video models, so these are just snapshots of images. And you might have seen this dog flying in the sky, so you can see the position of the camera changes. You might have seen these like books with again a moving camera, robot dancing, unicorns running on the beach. So all of them, obviously, they are not like as realistic as the image ones, but they are still like quite good and quite impressive. And probably we're gonna see like the same explosion, or I guess I hope to see the same explosion as we had with the images. I hope to see the same like evolution with the video one. And I said I don't have a demo, but I have somewhat of a demo. Something's pretty close. It's pretty much Twitter's hashtags. So I think this one is pretty cool. The small avatars like moving. These look like fantastically realistic. So really cool. Also we have, I didn't even see this one. So the ducklings being green, and then kangaroos making food, and Yeah, seeing this one before. Yeah, this one, big thinking, same. Pigs flying in front of a sunset, cinematic lens flare reflections, highly detailed. So that, by the way, that's prompt engineering 101. Add cinematic, I add high detail, and add like something like lens flare reflections, something like that. So I know the person who said in style of Monet had some experience with prompt engineering. So that's actually all that we had for today. Time, actually all that we have for the presentation today. Time for Q&A.
It's not a question, but I think this Meta Maker video also allows to add a few images, and then it makes a video out of them, guesses what could be the motion in it. So that's not just text to video, and also that's like making pictures alive.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much. So I will shortly summarize what was said. So you can, apparently in Make a Video, you can have a series of images, and this Make a Video fills in the missing frames and creates a video out of your like still images. Amazing, I didn't know that. But that reminds me that Stable Diffusion is also not only generating images, it has like a lot more features, like removing objects from, background, removing or filling in missing places, or even if you do like this like color sketch, it can generate realistic like detailed versions of that in place. So a lot more applications than I just described. It's like, look at the papers, look at the applications of these models. They're like obviously have much more functionality than just, like silly image generation or video generation. Much more than that. Great comment, by the way. Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I have one. How does Stable Diffusion, the one that is open, compares to the one that is commercialized, the DALL-E 2? I think it's the same model, but maybe they have some other tweaks. Maybe
So that was covered by trying to remember during last meetup, right? The technical details. There is like a small, if I remember correctly, there are some differences, and I'm not sure if DALL-E 2 is like totally open, even though OpenAI, but there was, I think, some missing details that they had to fill in. And they changed, I think they changed like some approach. I don't remember exactly the details, sorry about that, but it's not exactly the same. And regarding Midjourney, not sure what's the architecture underneath, but probably, again, they're all based on diffusion models, so with some tweaks in the architecture. Final question?
Maybe this Minerva from Google, how similar is it to Wolfram Alpha? Maybe is it? I know Wolfram Alpha also solves the mathematical problems with step-by-step.
To be honest, so the question is, how similar is Wolfram Alpha to Minerva? To be honest, I don't know exactly how Wolfram Alpha works under the hood. I understand it's more of this hard-coded type of thing, rather than like Minerva is like only like how it was trained. They pretty much scraped all the websites that have math or math jacks in it, and they kind of learn like, oh, that's good enough. Like, let's train on it. Like again, simple language model training pattern, like predict what's the missing thing in the sequence. So Wolfram Alpha, from my very inexperienced, and maybe it's a great conversation topic if anyone knows how it works. It like only works with the sets of problems that it knows how to interpret. So like named entity recognition, if you provided a like country name or whatever, like a known thing, and you pretty much write math it directly in it. This one, like you don't have math, you kind of like give general description. So it's in a way much more capable at understanding what you mean. At the same time, like Wolfram Alpha, I don't think it, I hope that it doesn't give incorrect answers. Now I just thought about, really hope that it doesn't. And this thing, it's just a language model. If you sample with a high temperature, you get like nonsense. You sample with a like low temperature, it doesn't like can get stuck or cannot solve the problem. So it's again, it comes from sampling. It has all these extra parameters this language model has. So that was the last question, and now it's time for big surprise. So I'm very happy to announce that our association is starting a competition, and there you can learn more about the competition. I really expect answer from all of you guys. Where can you read more about it?
Website.
Yay, on our website. So let's go to the website. So while I was doing the presentation, somebody should have sneakily, maybe I need to refresh it. Yes, I needed to refresh it, and now we have Dirbtinio intelekto meno konkursas. So let me very quickly introduce you to how it works, and again, you know where to find all of this information on the website. So it's all in Lithuanian, so I'll do a very quick summary in English. Pretty much, you have to generate your own images using your prompts. Remember to write down the prompts, exact prompts that you were using to generate these images. You will submit your generated images to the competition, and then you also, like as people, will judge who the winner is. So you won't have like jury or anything like that. Pretty much you generate the images, you choose who is the best, that person wins a prize. And actually not only the first prize, first 3 people win prizes. So obviously we are association, you're not like Google or like company with infinite money. The prizes are not super amazing, but we still we want to celebrate that we have these amazing new developments. We want to give you like a small encouragement. If you say, if you're, I don't know, like wife or mother or whatever parents say, what are you doing like in the middle of the night, like playing these images? Now I'm doing research to win a prize from the Artificial Intelligence Association. That sounds much more real, right? So the first prize is 200 euros. The second prize is you get a free membership in our association, which is worth 100 euros. And the third prize is pretty much swag from us. So you get nice sweaters or like shirts. We'll decide later. One more thing, by the way, there is an extra prize. So if you generate an image and you put it on Twitter, you hashtag it with this tag like 𝗔𝗴𝗲, like means make with artificial intelligence, and you add us at Lithuania AI. So like the one with most likes will also win a special prize. So this is like 2 different competitions. One is Twitter competition, one is like this later competition with the main prizes. But Twitter competition happens before, so it only happens before the start of the official voting, and you can win another 100 euros for another actually 100 euros and membership in the association if you have most likes on Twitter. So yeah, 4 amazing prizes. I hope that's good enough encouragement for you to participate. Remember to read the instructions. You need to remember your prompt, and you need to I think screenshot the whole process how you did it, like not to download the most liked image from one of these websites and say, oh, it was mine. So good luck with the competition. And now with that said, it's time for actually our icebreaker game. You might have been wondering what the scary icebreaker game is going to be. So icebreaker game involves you. That means you will have to do something, not only observe and like get information from the screen. Now it kind of becomes interactive. So step 1 in the icebreaker game is you need to make a list of meetings. So step 1 is like take out your phone or your like notepad or anything, Like write numbers 1 to 5. You actually need to write it down because you'll fill more details later. Step 2 is going to be an agreement between you and some other person on a meeting. So you need to look around or walk around, actually stand up. Everybody stand up. I'm serious, stand up. Walk around and agree on the time you are going to meet the person that you don't know, not the 3 other people you came here with. So person you don't know, agree on, like, let's say slot number 4. Like, let's do slot number 4. So you have 2 minutes for that or 3 minutes. Go. Go, agree on the meetings. Everyone have completed all 5 slots. Raise your hands. If you have all the 5 slots filled, raise your hand. If you have all 5, raise your hand. If you have all 5 slots filled, raise your hand. Right, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Can I have your attention now, please? So who is missing the first meeting? Meeting at 1. Who is missing meeting at 1? Now is your chance. Raise your hand if you are meeting, if you need a meeting at 1. Oh, I have somebody in the back. Dino, there's somebody in the back. Go arrange a meeting. So now, who is missing a meeting at 2? Can you raise your hand if you're meeting, if you need a meeting at 2, like second meeting? Once again, can I have your attention? Do you need a meeting at 2? If yes, raise your hand. That's how you're gonna find your pair. So only Romas, and you're the only one who's also meeting. Like everybody else has meeting at 2. If you need to meet somebody at 2, you have an empty space at 2 here. Raise your hand. No, only one. Oh, 2 people finally. Okay, if you need a meeting at 3, raise your hand. Who needs meeting at 3? Who's missing a meeting at 3? Okay, you 2, pair up. Who needs a meeting at 4? Okay, there's a bunch of you in the same place, so go ahead and arrange the details. And finally, meeting at 5. Who needs 5? Oh, look at the back, people at the back. Once again, at 5, who needs 5? Raise your hands once more. And right, I think we are all ready. Let's move on to the next stage. So what's gonna happen? Like quick attention for instructions. I need your attention for instructions. So I'm gonna tell you first meeting, and I'm gonna show you what's here. And I'm gonna show you what the topic is going to be. So you are meeting the person. Remember, you wrote down the name. You need to find this person. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Be sure, like spread out in the room and like talk about the topic, and I'll show you. The topics are gonna come one by one, and for each meeting, you're gonna have 3 minutes. So this game is going to take like about a minute for you to find a pair, and then 3 minutes for you to talk. So spread it out evenly, like don't talk for an entire 3 minutes yourself, and then the person has, yeah, great conversation. So, are you ready? Yeah. The first meeting topic is going to be, who is your favorite data scientist and why? Go ahead. So I'm going to end the presentation. It was great having you. Bye-bye.